Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of On It. We are here. You got me. You got Devin. We are back. We got a lot of football to discuss. We got a lot of week 9 football to discuss. A lot of things went down week 9.
A lot
Some
of
MVP
things.
votes, the trade deadline,
Trade deadline.
Thursday night football for week 10, but we need to get right into these week 9 games, Devin. First things first. Dallas versus Atlanta.
We're jumping right into it, no?
No, we're jumping right into it because
Immediately.
you picked Dallas.
I did.
And I need to understand, just from your point of view,
Yeah.
what made you think in any way that the Dallas Cowboys were going to win that football game?
So there wasn't much that told me that Dallas would beat Atlanta. It was more so of like Dallas needs to. They need this win. They need a something to get back to even to salvage their season in this somewhat tougher top of the NFC East. And also the struggles of Atlanta's offense, but it showed
Struggles?
that Dallas has nothing. Dak said it very well um, to the entire world. Apparently, he said, "We suck,"
Yeah, yeah, he did say that.
and he was right, but he left out the word. He left out a few words. He said, "We suck." He should have said, "I suck," and we suck. The defense sucks. Um, Obviously, without Micah Parsons, but I think either way they would still suck. And then with Dak, they're horrible. Um, they have
Is
basically a two-man show, Dak and CD, and honestly, Dak is not fulfilling his duties.
is it bad or like wrong that it seems worse? Like if I just saw like a DB on the sideline just say that, just get caught on camera saying that,
Sure.
I wouldn't look at it as bad as Dak saying it. Like as soon as like once I realized like it wasn't even like, oh, he should have said no, I suck. I mean he did say we, but
I'm going to be honest, it could have been 55 other players.
if yeah, if and I mean bad in terms of like for your organization, for how your teammates are going to look at you, for honest if this was any other team. Well, see, here's the thing: if there's any other team, Dak wouldn't be in this situation.
No.
He wouldn't be on.
That's what sucks about this Dallas team is like CD can go to any other team. Maybe not any other team, but a lot of other teams and like be on a winning team.
No, he can go to any
Dak
other team.
Dak can go play for another organization and play well,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the situation that he's in that brings him to this horrible kind of.
And also, and just being in Dallas, it's like every other GM or owner would look at that and be like really worried
Sure.
about the backlash of that. But Jerry is gonna look at that and be like, yeah, we do fucking suck, like we do, and
I
and
hope.
and and there is a part of that that's like okay, like but like I feel like all that should be back of the head, like we all know this, like damn, like we suck, like let me not
Yes.
just. Bro knows the cameras are on him.
Now, of course, and I think that's kind of a plea toward Jerry. And the problem with Jerry is like he knows they fucking suck, and he knows they will suck. But the problem is he won't admit that. He won't try to figure out a reason, a way to make this suck less.
Well,
But no, for Dak, I felt like that was like a showing everybody that I need to get out of this situation.
I mean, I think Jerry genuinely believes that his
Yeah,
moves are the best moves he can make.
they didn't make any moves at the trade deadline. Why would
None.
they? Why would they? He feels like they're in the best spot they could be in.
Yeah, but now it's like believe in them or not believe in them. Dak's on IR.
Hamstring.
CD AC joint. He's working with a bad shoulder. Um, sprained AC joint.
Yep.
I mean, it's just they get blown out again by Atlanta. I'm really trying to figure out
No,
why Mike McCarthy still has a job.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know where the problem's coming from. I know that Mike clearly isn't. Mike had his one good season or his one spectacular season in Green Bay. He's had a few good seasons, but yes, Mike might be a problem. But clearly, the overarching problem of all of this is Jerry. Now, the score may say that the game was 27-21, but there's a little bit of garbage time that led
Mm-hmm.
into the Cowboys coming closer than they
Yeah,
should have.
yeah, for sure.
Atlanta had a comfortable lead the entire game. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's
I mean, Mike McCarthy still has a job, and they lost to the Saints. They got blown out by the Saints, who now are working with an interim head coach. So I mean, and we're gonna talk about the Saints later, but
we'll talk about the whole head coach thing with the Saints. I don't, I don't agree with a lot of that shit, but whatever.
yeah. So I would say first things first, probably fire Mike McCarthy. If not now, well, I mean, at this point, I guess at the end of the season, because I mean, what what else would they have to do for him to be
Yeah.
fired? Or to be fired uh
Now the
during
scariest
the
thing is going
season.
to come. The scariest thing is going to come when if Cooper Rush plays well. If Cooper plays well, and if that team starts to win games, then you can really start to pinpoint Dak as an issue. I don't think they will. I don't think Cooper will win games.
Yeah,
Um,
but that's kind of
but
like
really, if they lose one, two more games, they're out of playoff contention entirely.
but I feel like if like Malik Willis plays well, it's like
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter. Like they're just paying bro way too much money
agreed.
to not have him play.
And that's why I
So
hate the money in the NFL. It's like,
Cooper Rush can come in and do anything, and Dak's going to be playing as soon as he's healthy.
of course,
Shit, Justin Fields couldn't even keep a job.
fuck no. Justin
But
Fields was what 4-2 or some shit.
yeah, I mean, he was definitely winning.
Now he
I'll say
wasn't
that.
playing well, and that defense was a big part of it. But
He was playing good enough.
he was playing well enough, of course.
Now Russ playing a little, Russ is playing. Russ is.
I mean, I do agree with the Russ move,
Mm,
just for experience purposes and winning real games, and if they do want to sneak out a few wins here and there, I think they can with Russ compared to Justin. Justin's a bit more of a wild card, but with Dallas, it's like I don't think they have anything with Dak or Cooper. They have nothing.
no, they're 3-5. I guess in the grand scheme of things, you look at that record and say, well, it's not over. They could but they're not like Dallas right now. Any team, I'm talking over Denver, Seattle,
Yep,
Jacksonville, Carolina, New Orleans. Dallas is the last team going on a 7-game win streak.
1,000%.
I'm sorry, it is not happening.
Yeah, no, they got
Um,
nothing.
Broncos versus Ravens.
Yeah, um,
I mean,
and this is what's awesome about the Ravens is that this is what you're supposed to do to bad
mm-hmm.
football teams. You're not supposed to make it a fucking close game. You're not supposed to make it this or that. You're supposed to blow the tits off of them. You're supposed to throw for a perfect passer rating. And if anyone is still out there calling Lamar a running back or whatever, here's the thing. You can call Lamar a running back. He might be one of the better running backs in this league. But the motherfucker can throw. He can throw 16 of 19, throw 3 touchdown passes, and throw a perfect passer rating of 158.3, which is the 4th time in his career which is tied for the most in history.
Dude, there are still people questioning Lamar Jackson's throwing
And
ability.
it's everyone who dick sucks Pat and Josh and
But
Trevor and Herbert and
it's
all these
but
fucking people who clearly can do nothing without a solid team around them
well, I'll
outside of Josh and
Josh and Pat,
but Pat's
uh
got some gods raining down on him.
Pat has Pat. There's some
Pat has this
There's some Taylor Swift. There's
jump
some
3 seconds before the ball gets snapped.
there's some
Get
Taylor
back there,
Swift.
boy.
There's some Taylor Swift black magic going on in
It ain't
Kansas
even
City.
Taylor,
Which
bro.
also
It's all Raj.
one of our Kansas City clips, someone was like now it's Taylor Swift. Now what's the excuse next? It was like I don't think
Same
we ever
thing.
said. I don't think we ever were like, oh, they're winning because of Taylor Swift.
No,
Um,
they're winning because
I think it was a joke.
yeah, but no, they're winning because they're I don't know, they're getting calls.
They're doing what they're, but that's besides the point. Yes, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, they can do a lot with a little, but so can Lamar Jackson. Now, what's great about Lamar Jackson is this is no more a little. There's been plenty of years where he's done a lot with a little, but
Sure.
he's got the best running back in the NFL.
Yep.
He's got a great receiving core that we've yet to debut, Deontay Johnson.
He didn't play
Luckily,
this week?
no. Well, I did not see Bro take a single snap. I was watching the entire game, waiting, looking around, seeing. I was like, nope. I'm watching Nelson Aguilar run around, get his receptions. Tylan Wallace get snaps. So I'm like, all right.
You know. Nothing
Deontay
from
Deontay didn't get no snaps,
nothing
which
from
is
yeah,
fine.
that's all right.
That's
It's
okay.
fine.
I really hope he gets some snaps this Thursday. We'll talk about
Agreed.
that. But Zay continuing to just flourish and it's to the point where this isn't like I'm shocked that Zay gets open
No.
in the end zone once in a while and
Nope.
or he just beats somebody with his speed. It's like no, he is making. I mean that was like a Tyreek level type touchdown. That 50 yarder that he had. I mean that was some top tier
Yeah.
like Zay Flowers last year. I mean, call me crazy. I mean, I'm a Ravens fan, so if you ever need to check me and be like, "Yo, chill," I'll chill. But Zay Flowers, the way he's playing these past 3 to 4 weeks, I mean, he is taking a huge leap in terms of
Yes.
tiers where he ranks how like just
Of course.
across the board.
I mean the first few weeks of this season he was looking like a Hollywood esque type of product. Where this motherfucker's fast, this motherfucker can do this and that. But when it comes to being open or catching balls and whatever, he wasn't there. A lot of balls were going to tight ends, a lot of balls were going here and there. But no, it's like he's getting open now. He's catching these fucking passes. And he's becoming a true number one on this team, which is where he needs to be. And the rest of him doing all that opens up the rest of that fucking team, which is nearly unstoppable. You're not stopping these tight ends. You're not stopping this run game. Wait till you get Keaton Mitchell back. It's an unstoppable force.
Bro, I was literally just about to say, and the fact that we're about to add to this offense Keaton Mitchell and Deontay Johnson. I mean, come on.
What are we doing?
There's what are we doing? And this statistically, by the end of this season, we're going to start talking about where this offense ranks all time.
No, agreed.
Because this
Because
offense is
it's not like it's you got Randy Moss out there. It's not like you got fucking T.O. out there. It's like no, you got a fucking 8 dogs out here who are going up there and catching passes or running for this and running for
and
that. It's like you got dudes out here.
and it's also just not it's not just we get flashy plays here and there and
No.
it's just we are getting to the point where we're not if we're not unstoppable, we got 17 other options if you figure out how to stop the 18th option
Of course.
or the first option. I mean, it's
And the craziest thing is like Lamar is obviously balling this year. Lamar is doing what he's done his entire career. He's leading the MVP race. He's got 17 touchdowns and 2 picks. It's like he's doing all this stuff with the pass game. If the pass game gets shut down, Lamar still has legs.
Lamar has, you
Lamar
know how
still
many
has the
rushing
best legs in
yards?
the league.
You know how many rushing yards he had this week?
Nah, but he has 500 on the season. 4.
4. Didn't even
You
need.
don't need it. But
Didn't
it's like,
even need.
but if you shut down Zay, if you shut down fucking Derek, you got the fucking third best running back in the league.
Yes, and I will say, if there's anything I need the Ravens to do, read options, RPOs, that's straight, that's cool, because you're still giving you're still giving Lamar the option to decide on where the play is going. These quarterback design runs are not it.
No, you don't need them.
We keep trying to mix in these quarterback design runs where we are forcing Lamar to run,
You don't need to.
and the Lamar runs the best when it's his decision to run.
Agreed. 1,000%.
Or when it is time to run, when he
Agreed.
pocket collapse. All right, I got to get out of there and make a play.
Now maybe you can run someone a 3rd and short or a 4th and short or whatever.
Yeah,
But when you got Lamar out there and you give him 4 different looks, either to run it with Derek or to pass it to 3 tight ends or 2 wide receivers or whatever, then that opens up, that pushes the safeties back, that pushes the linebackers back, that pushes out so much shit for Lamar to go out and get a 10, 15, 20-yard run and busting people's ankles up. Let him prove that he can pass well, and then let him run out if he needs to.
yeah, but I mean,
don't design nothing with it, bro.
If we're at our own 30-yard line and it's the middle of the second quarter, we don't need to bring in some big package and force Lamar to run just to get hit, back in the backfield or get a yard or two. But 3rd and 1, third and short, or we're at the goal line. Yeah, no, I dare you to beat Lamar to the sideline.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly.
That's it. If you can beat him to the sideline, then good job.
On you.
Stop Derrick Henry at the goal line. Like I don't know. I don't know.
But it's like y'all need to play the way you did against Denver, that you play against every other team, and you guys need to play aggressive against every other team. Not be afraid of what KC will do to y'all or what the Bengals will do to y'all or whatever the fuck. On Thursday, I need to see y'all fucking throwing that bitch out.
We'll talk about Thursday. Right. We'll talk about Thursday. I'm about to say,
I want to see more aggressive play against good teams, because y'all bring that against the shit teams. I'll bring it.
Yeah, I want to see. Yeah. I
want to see it full on.
The Chargers versus the Browns. I mean,
the Jameis effect.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Jameis theory stands strong.
Of course it does.
You win one week, you lose the next.
Bro threw 3 picks.
Yeah, he played like shit. Which, like that. See what happens? Like he would have had 3 picks against the Ravens if we just caught the damn ball. He has 3 picks this week. In all honesty, it's just the football gods making sure that this theory, stands strong, stands tall, because that's real. There's really no other explanation.
It might be. That ball that hit Kyle right in his titties might have been a send from God. But no, I don't think this says anything about the Chargers. They needed this win to stay alive and whatever the fuck they're fighting for. But
did we talk Chargers? Did we talk Chargers playoff chances last episode? I couldn't remember.
We may have a little bit. I mean, they definitely have a chance to
they're 5-3.
To hit a wild card spot.
I mean, for the past couple of weeks, I've been talking about them like, give them an off season. We're gonna really wait. We got to really wait and see. But if you look at it, they are
5-3.
What are we looking at right now? They got Tennessee, and they got All right, okay. See, okay. No, Chargers are not making the playoffs. The Chargers are not making the playoffs.
They could.
No. You want to hear their run they got? After Tennessee, they got Cincinnati, Baltimore, Atlanta, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. So that stretch, that's gonna be a bitch. That's gonna be.
But then they got 3 pickoffs to end the season.
But what's then they got three? I mean, they're sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential losses in a row. Um,
So they could go 9-8.
Sick, dude. There's gonna be we can't have
There's going to
13,
be
9, and
8
8
teams in
teams,
9 and
dude.
8. Yeah.
Like we can't have and some of them aren't gonna make it. And it just is what it is. There's absolutely no way. I mean, I'm looking at this like their best chances against Tampa Bay, but shit, December 15th, we don't know how they're gonna look by then.
And
They
I think this. I think that Tampa team is coming around without the boys out there.
Well, that's something else I want to discuss. But no, the Chargers, they are not making the playoffs. Never mind. I'm sorry. Let me take
They
everything I
still
said
have
back.
a chance,
No,
but it's slim, very slim.
their chances about as no, it's not happening.
Their chances as slim as Kamala's.
It is not happening, Devin. Miami versus Buffalo. So
Yeah,
Miami looked better. You know, they
Miami did.
lost. They lost by 3 points. You at like 12:45 text me and say I'm flipping to Miami. Give me Miami. Don't know
Now I
why.
said that I saw Amari Cooper was out,
Which they've had for a game.
exactly, and to me it felt like
What do you mean exactly? No, I'm disagreeing with you. Amari Cooper being out means nothing. They've only had him for a game.
that's why I said exactly. Like I'm getting to why Amari Cooper doesn't matter as much. To me, it felt like the final little piece to what I was saying last week, which was Miami is looking for a huge bounce back. They're looking for a reason to be alive in this AFC East. They didn't get it. They lost on a walk-off. Now, this game was close the whole way. We can say that. This game
Do you
was
want to know why this game was very close?
Very well contested.
This game was very close because the Bills are not that good.
And that's exactly what I said. Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
But no, that's exactly what I said last week. It was like, I understand that Miami's not good at all. And I get that.
At all. No.
But the Bills are nothing of what we thought that they could be preseason. And Khalil Shakir is not a one. All these other dudes are not ones. Amari Cooper's probably not even a fucking one on this team. And
the Bills just
this team will struggle.
This season, it's just they have shown and proved they have not proved a thing this year. They're calling for Josh Allen to win MVP, which I'll give it to you. Yes, he's a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, but he's not this year's MVP. They need to stop disrespecting every single candidate that's on that list because they are miles ahead of Josh Allen this season.
It would be the same as calling Pat for MVP. It's like you're winning a few games out here, but you're not doing nothing.
Do you want to know the updated total combined record for teams that the Buffalo Bills have beaten?
Let me take a guess. 13-27.
God, you're the second person that makes it sound a little bit better. 17-34.
I didn't make it sound good.
But I'm saying like now I have to. Now they had a couple more wins.
But that's half.
But 17, they have not beaten a team. Not a single team they've beaten.
The teams that they have played are now 25%.
To date, not a single one of those teams they've beaten has a winning record.
Dang.
Not a single one of them. 17-34. They have not proven a thing.
And they're 7-2 for no fucking reason, dude.
Who they lose to? Houston and Baltimore. And they got smoked. I mean, we smoked them. I mean, it wasn't even something that I expected. I think I picked Buffalo.
Well, that was early on in the season when you were doubting your boys,
and we smoked them. We rolled right over them. So I don't know. I at this point, yeah, I'm the biggest Buffalo Bills hater or whatever. But how many times do we have to watch the Bills play shit teams and okay, they catch them in the second half and they start going crazy, or in this case, they damn near lose to the 2-5 Miami Dolphins.
Dude,
returning. I mean, it's just they have not played a decent team this year. And when
It's
they
like,
match
no,
up versus Kansas City, and
of
if
course.
they beat the Chiefs, please, I'm saying it right now. The Chiefs are 8-0, still not gassing them up.
No.
They should lose to the Bills.
Yes.
They should lose to the Bills.
Yes.
So, I don't I just don't I cannot sit here and keep pretending like the Bills. Josh Allen is good. The Bills are
Yes.
not a good football team. The
No.
Bills have not played good football teams. The
No.
Bills have played 6 really bad football teams and have beaten all of them. And the two that
And it's not even convincingly.
so some of them. I mean, but some of them are convincingly, but for what? They convincingly beat the Titans. That's
They
like the Ravens
convincingly beat the
convincingly
Jags. The
beating the
Jags are one of the worst
Broncos.
teams in football.
Or like the Ravens convincingly beat the Broncos. And yeah,
Exactly. Like, you're supposed to.
and I understand. I'm saying the Bills are bad, which makes me saying, "Oh, we beat y'all," not really mean as much. But at the same time, if Buffalo is this fucking good, explain what we did to them, or explain
Yeah.
what's gonna happen when they run into a Kansas City Chiefs and they end up losing and Patrick Mahomes throws for 150 yards and 2 picks. Like, I mean, I just don't I don't get it. I don't understand. There should be absolutely zero hype for the Buffalo Bills right now.
No.
They are
It's
winning the AFC East easier than the Bucks might, or than the Falcons might win the
Falcons
South.
might win the South.
So this is, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
As of right now, I mean, y'all are better. Y'all are better than them.
Of course we are. Fuck yeah.
Y'all. If Washington played Buffalo right now, it'd be a
We'll
problem.
we'll get to what Washington's doing over there.
It'll be a problem, Devin.
But I
New England versus Tennessee. I mean,
yeah, hard fought game.
Oh, it was great. I mean, Drake Mays. At least we know who the future of New England is.
Agreed.
And
I don't know if it's just a quarterback out there playing with balls, knowing that he's got to scrap together or win here or there or whatever, but he doesn't look horrendous, especially playing with the team he's playing with right now, which is incredibly depleted and has a defensive coordinator as their head coach, which, again, I don't agree with. Yeah.
I mean, at this
close
point,
game, overtime.
How much shit can you give Rob Mayo? I mean, as of right now, I mean,
right now,
if he is at least right now, out of all these young head coaches, at least finding a guy that he's going to be working with for the next couple of years.
Agreed.
I mean, he's in a way better situation than Antonio Pierce is in.
1,000%. And the Patriots need to find receivers. They need to find a running back. They need to find pieces around Drake. Drake's got that do-it-all type of mentality around him, and
which we didn't even talk
couldn't
about
finish
Vegas.
it off.
We didn't even talk about Vegas and Cincinnati. I completely skipped over them. Which the only thing is I find hilarious. They fired literally everybody but Antonio Pierce.
That's what I'm saying. They fired their OC. Why the fuck you firing your OC?
They fired every single if I'm the OC, I'm looking at like, who do y'all think gave me these options? Like, what the fuck did y'all want me to do with this?
The fuck would you fire the OC? It's like you had a head coach who said, "Fuck this. Everybody's making decisions out here. I'm gonna make business decisions too. I'm gonna send away the entire team. At this point, get rid of Max, send him off, get some draft picks, get something going for this fucking team. Because you traded Devontae away for what, a fifth?
Yeah, for nothing.
Nothing. They're trading
like a third.
Every team's trading receivers away for fifths and sixths and shit. Like they don't mean nothing.
But we need to talk about New Orleans. We need to talk about New Orleans and Carolina.
But no, the Bengals played well against, like they did what they were supposed to do against.
Yeah, I mean they still got an uphill battle. They got an early week just like us. So
Of course.
We'll see.
But back-to-back wins for them is huge. Burrow throwing 5 is huge.
It's the Raiders.
But it is the Ravens. Agreed.
It's the Raiders.
But for their season, they're now 4-5. That's big for them.
We need to talk about New Orleans and Carolina, and not the game. We need to talk about a man who has played since 2019 only 20 games. His only success has came with the passes coming from Hall of Famer Drew Brees. Has thrown a brick at somebody more recently than caught a touchdown in the National Football League. Sitting
Michael
on the
Thomas, what, broke the record in what, 19?
yeah, he broke someone's window in like 22, 23.
It was 21 or 22,
21,
something like that.
22.
Yeah, he
But
decided to throw.
he's
He
sitting
said himself either a rock or a bullet.
Yeah, he's sitting on his couch tweeting like a bum, like me or you
Mm-hmm.
could be doing, like
Mm-hmm.
anybody could be doing,
Mm-hmm.
like any 9 to 5 or any actual bum that has nothing to do but watch a Saints game. Oh, the Saints on. Let's watch Derek Carr and
Yep.
just shit on Derek Carr. Now here's the thing. We've talked about Derek Carr and his potential and just we've had discussion about Derek Carr on this podcast.
Of course.
Obviously, at least I don't feel I don't feel the same way Michael Thomas feels about Derek Carr.
No.
Now at the same time, my friends might feel different about me than someone that I work with.
Sure.
So that's the first thing that, all right, I'll get that out of the way. Yeah, he worked with him, kind of, sure, when he was there for the 3 games or whatever. But Michael Thomas is an absolute loser. I really don't. I don't know really. Just on the Michael Thomas, I'll get to actually what he was bitching about. When it comes to Derek Carr and him, the ball he threw to Olave.
Yeah.
But just sitting on Twitter, I mean, this is like Antonio Brown level of like the way he's acting. Like, these are
Sure.
like Antonio Brown actions. Like, if we're gonna sit here and call like the things that Antonio Brown does is CTE level shit, it's like, buddy, you sat there and just caught slants and fell to the ground.
That was it.
That is all you did.
It's like you had the most receptions in NFL history, and you were about 300 yards short of breaking the record.
And I mean, you want to talk about, so let's talk about what he was complaining about. That's Derek Carr. Yards. And what makes me upset is people always blame the quarterback on balls like that, especially, because they like to call them the hospital ball.
Suicide balls. Whatever.
Now, here's the problem. Every single quarterback in the NFL, including Derek Carr, have to throw against tight coverages.
Yeah.
Against, or tough.
Especially over the middle.
Tight windows, tough coverages, throw balls over the middle. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Brady was throwing them bitches all the time.
Is it ideal? Is it the first option? Do quarterbacks want their number one target to be sent to the hospital? Obviously not.
No.
But I don't understand how we can sit here and put all the blame on Derek Carr and not talk about how the DB, like, why do we not talk about DBs watching balls go through receivers' hands and then them lighting them up?
Still hitting.
They will light them up. And let's be real, at this point, like, it's just, what is it for? A highlight? Your highlight tape? Like, these DBs.
We still see DBs go full on dive mode on quarterbacks who are sliding.
But I mean, they're so reckless when it comes to these types of plays, because it's either you did it on purpose, just to what? I mean, don't let them know not to come across the middle again or whatever stupid shit. And the reason I'm saying it's stupid is because you're getting no blame for it. It's just because you think that's just the best idea.
Yes, they're like, yo, this is it.
You won't get flagged for it, I guess, even though it's like that's more unnecessary roughness than a bad ball.
Or than a fucking any quarterback.
Or they're so and look, and here's the thing. At this point, I know we say this every episode. We don't play in the NFL, but we're gonna sit here and fucking talk about the simple things like keeping your eye on a football, and that's knowing whether or not it's in a receiver's hands. So you're running. Oh, receiver drops the football. I'm almost still running to him.
2 more steps. Boom.
I'm not gonna let up. I'm not gonna move out the way.
If we're gonna have these quarterback rules where it's like roughing the passer and shit, where you take 2 steps and you hit it, bro. Why can you take 3, 4 steps and still
Still
crack the fuck out of a
light
receiver?
somebody up, and then blame Derek Carr. It's Derek
You're trying to
Carr's
win a
fault.
football game. You're trying to throw a ball that is catchable over the middle,
Yeah.
and your boy gets locked up.
And Chris Olave, and hopefully he's good, but I mean he dropped the football. But after you drop the football, yeah, no, you should expect to not get hit, especially in 2024. At this point, if we're implementing all these rules, all these safety precautions, why not really hammer down? You know,
Like the real plays that are hurting NFL players.
yeah, yeah.
Not you put your body weight on the quarterback. You could have broken his collarbone, man.
It's
Why not
just
the fucking you're gonna break this dude's neck in half if you take 4 steps and blow him up?
it's just you at this. I mean, I'm just saying you can blame a DB or you can blame a quarterback all you want for putting his wide receiver in a bad situation, but the real question is how do you put your receiver in a good situation if you have multiple DBs playing reckless at once?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying in this situation that's what the Carolina Panthers were doing, but no, there are situations where you got. I mean, shit. Look at Baltimore, bro. I mean, jokes aside, Kyle Hamilton like looks to just take people's
Crash
heads
out.
off.
Yeah.
He is an actual crasher. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, it's cool that he can come off the
Lay the
edge
wood.
and he can take somebody's head off, but
I'm gonna be honest. How many Super Bowls did Brian Dawkins win playing football like that? He caught some cool ass highlight tapes.
yeah, I mean that's well now. But see, here's the thing: in in that age of football, that was
Sure.
normal. That
Of
was
course.
that was regular. That was okay. You were expected to get your head taken off going across the middle. Quarterbacks, receivers, they kind of had to accept that that's what's going to happen. I'm getting my head taken off. You're getting your head taken off. We're just going to try to not do that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like no, you were doing every single thing to protect offensive players,
But
but
it's
ignoring.
also players in general. I mean, you would see those videos of Ryan Clark flying the fuck over the middle, going crazy. Like that's incredibly dangerous for DBs. If I'm not mistaken, DBs get the most concussions out of any NFL player, out of
Yeah,
any NFL position.
but Ryan Clark making statements like, "Well, I just didn't care about my body." It's like, no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no. You not caring about your body put other people in
of
risk
course.
at risk. Like it's and that's and players still do that today.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just I I don't know. I'm tired of the blame being put on quarterbacks for having to force a ball into tight coverage and then
Agreed.
it's all of a sudden it's always a hospital ball. That's what it is.
Sure. And
Um,
then they just fired Dennis Allen, which again to me is do what you want, whatever, with your
mhm.
team. But clearly, your head coach is not the problem. You have no
Yeah.
weapons on this team. You have no defense. You have nothing that can make this team a winning football team. Sure, go out and fire your head coach. You're not going to get shit from it.
Well, I mean, when you got like a Kamara and Olave, you do have weapons. Like there
No,
are
I agreed, but
there are weapons. Now, when you spend half of your offense trying to somehow utilize your Swiss Army knife Taysom Hill, um, to me, I can't I'm telling you, the day a coach walks into the Saints locker room and goes, "Get out,"
yeah,
that's when they'll start to win.
sure.
Like I know it's a lot more than Taysom Hill, but that's just an example of some goofy shit a team that just doesn't want to win does.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, let's experiment. Like it just doesn't seem like some winning shit. It doesn't seem like the Saints are interested in winning at all when they pull that. It's okay. It's like Derek Carr goes out. Let's try to throw Spencer Rattler in the fire. Maybe
Yep,
let's try to progress him a little bit, but
yep,
then let's also throw him off by throwing Taysom Hill in to take
yep,
direct snaps or or
yep.
or have basically a waste of a receiver out there if we're putting him to line up anywhere that's
Agreed.
not at quarterback. I mean, it's just or if
There's
Taysom Hill's in the
no team
backfield,
that has run a trick quarterback and been successful.
And
Or
Taysom Hill comes out.
whatever the fuck Taysom Hill is, tight end or
If
whatever the
Taysom
fuck.
Hill is lined up in the backfield 3 times in an entire game, what do you think that defense is going to do?
Yeah.
Hey, it's
Hey, white boy's back here.
it's going to the dude with one glove. He's getting
Yep.
it. He's getting it.
Find
That's
him.
what any defense is going to do when they're playing the Saints. So once that
Of course.
goofy shit ends, they'll be on to something. They just extended Kamara, so obviously they got something planned. I don't know exactly what it is.
I guess. And Kamara is a threat, but again, he's way more of a receiving threat than he is a rushing threat. They
Yeah,
don't
but
have a rushing threat.
this running back by committee thing, if you can run with a Kamara and then maybe like a ground and pounder, I mean, it can work. It can
But
work.
also losing to the Panthers is not a good look. Going 2-7 now.
Yeah.
Pretty bad, but either way, just a shit franchise.
You know what's not a shit franchise anymore? The Washington Commanders, Devin.
For now,
Simple dubs. Maybe y'all could have not let it get as close as it was.
it should not have been that close. We let Daniel Jones cook a little bit, which, for the sake of Daniel Jones, sure, go cook a little bit, go truck somebody, go get a few touchdowns or whatever.
It definitely took your foot off the gas.
We took our foot off the gas, and I mean, when we're playing against a shit team like New York, it's okay to do so. We had that win locked up pretty easy. But again, I think this just shows how solid that this team is, the Commanders, especially without Brian Robinson, without our main rushing threat. How little we have to do to win games. It's not like we came out here and made a shit ton of mistakes and made the game close. Now,
yeah, I mean it was 20,
finishing.
It was 27.
It's still going to be a problem for us.
It was what 27-10 at some point.
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, it was, I mean they put up 12 points. It was they put up 12.
It was 24-10.
So 24-10. They put up 12 points in the fourth quarter.
But finishing drives is going to be a little bit of a problem for us. Finishing games, like really packing on the points, has seemed to be a bit of a struggle recently. But the way this franchise looks, new quarterback, utilizing our real receivers, picking up a DB, which we very much so needed in Marshawn Lattimore.
But I mean, just putting a couple more nails in the coffin, just 6 points in the second half, maybe a little bit more, just because. I mean, you put up 21 in the first half against most teams in the league. Y'all got a good chance of winning it.
Yep.
But then it definitely drops if the average second half is 6.
Agreed.
So I say I mean but 7-2 Commanders. I mean that's what at the end of the day that's what it is.
Again, I know that we just traded for Marshawn, that we're going to be making a bit of a push because of we're in a good spot to win the East right now.
Oh, y'all are in the East.
But this is still a pretty young team, especially at quarterback. And I don't know. I still don't have super high expectations for this team. Years to come, I will, but right now everything's a plus. Jaden, I mean, God forbid Lamar plays bad, but Jaden might have that second spot at MVP right now.
I'd say there's a couple more players that might.
Maybe third.
All right. That's the only thing I'm gonna push back on is Jaden Daniels being like second in MVP. Right?
Unless you're gonna throw Derek up there.
Are we? So like Jared Goff is no one. He's
Jared
nobody.
Goff's cool.
No, Jared Goff has been playing amazing.
4.
Yeah. Okay. Like all right now it's Saquon. It's like there's some players to talk about. There's some players to talk about.
Yeah, Saquon's an animal.
But we'll get to Saquon. Chicago versus Arizona. So, I really don't care. what any more hype people want to put into Caleb Williams, that's fine. They're still not. He has a lot of. He's got a lot of work. He's got a lot of work. A lot of progressing to do. I mean,
And that's what makes me mad about like the analysts of the world. It's like we all knew Caleb had a lot to work on, especially coming from USC, from an easier division, the Pac-12, coming from the offense that he was coming from, going into a team where he needs to do all the work, where this offense is not built for him to go out and throw 400 yards a game like he was in college in his Heisman season. Um, you know,
I mean,
I expected him to struggle early on in his career, but a lot of people said he was going to make this team a playoff team immediately, but whatever.
We sit here and said that, and we sat here and said that we expected this. We expected him to have a pretty rocky rookie year, and
Yeah.
all of the analysts said he was the most pro ready guy.
Of
All of
course.
the analysts said he was gonna. He was on the team. The Chicago team loaded up. They loaded this team up for him, and
Yep.
I don't know. I don't have much to say about Caleb Williams except there's still a lot of work for him to do and a lot of progress.
But, I mean, if we looked at Caleb right now as we did CJ Stroud from a year ago, Caleb would look okay right now.
You want to repeat that? What do you mean?
So when CJ went 2 last year,
Mm-hmm.
CJ finished the season, 9-8? So if we
10-7.
looked at maybe 10-7, but if we looked at Caleb the same way we did CJ before last season, it's like we didn't have a shit ton of expectations for this team.
Okay. I feel you.
Now,
still not
now
having a performance.
with the Bears trying to load this team up and saying all this shit, then it starts to become this, maybe they want this dude to be pro ready. But if anyone has watched him play in his college years, I mean, it's pretty easy to see that it'll take a bit from him to be fully pro ready.
Well, what I do want to talk about, Arizona Cardinals playoff chances.
Getting a lot better.
Now they were kind of down in the dumps a couple weeks ago. We were kind of saying, like, I feel like there was a point we were like, all right, it was cool, we were hyping them up, but now they're back where they're supposed to be, and now they're on a 3-game winning streak. The games, they beaten the Chargers. I'm not gonna downplay a Chargers win, but then Miami and Chicago. But then you look at the rest of their season. Now after this Jets game, they had the Jets. So they're sitting at 5-4. They had the Jets, and they had their bye week after that. Then they're looking at Seattle, Minnesota, Seattle again, New England, Carolina, the Rams, the 49ers.
Damn.
So
that's a fucking. I'm gonna be honest. That's a good fucking chance.
It's a good
chance to win 10 fucking games.
Now you're looking
sitting at 5 wins right now.
Now you're looking at they're 5 wins right now. They're 5-4, but they are going to be playing. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe in my eyes, 6 teams, 6 games playing teams that will be fighting for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4 divisional games against 3 different divisional teams, all 3 divisional teams that are still pushing to make the playoffs. So it will be close, but the odds. See the odds. That's the problem. It's all right. So they got Seattle twice.
Yeah.
Can they can beat them twice. They could. Do they? I don't know. So
I give them at least one.
Say they go 1-1 with them, and they're sitting at 6-5. I don't know if they beat Minnesota. They'd be sitting.
Minnesota looked bad.
Well, we're going to talk about Minnesota as well, but let's if they say they don't beat Minnesota, then what are they? They're sitting at 6-6.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got New England, so we'll go 7-6. Carolina 8-6. Then we're left with Jets, Rams, 49ers.
Depending on where the Jets are in their season, like if the Jets don't pick it up, that could be an easy dub.
They play the Jets next week.
Same thing with the Rams. The Rams, if they don't pick it up, could be an easy dub. And then the Pats are.
See, but on the flip side, they're playing Rams week 17. This might be a playoff deciding matchup for
Sure.
both of them.
Yeah.
And then right after that, week 18, a playoff deciding matchup for both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely got to take advantage of, they got New England and Seattle, or New England and Carolina, but Seattle twice in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If they can catch both, if they can catch them slipping in both of those games, take advantage of New England and Carolina. I mean, that's 9 wins right there.
Yeah.
Catch maybe the Jets, Rams, maybe the Vikings. I mean, you said what you said about the
Vikings are gettable,
and the Vikings are
now.
gettable.
I was wrong about, I guess, how the Cardinals would win. I thought I would see this kind of big push for Kyler and Marvin doing their thing.
Well, it's still there. I mean, he definitely want. They definitely want it to be that.
Of course, their run game obviously did the job this game. 100 out of James Conner, 2 touchdowns out of their other running backs. But if they can get that connection going plus that run game, I think they can get Seattle twice. I think they can get the Rams. I think if you catch Minnesota, catch them.
If they do all of that, Arizona is a lot better than I still think they are.
Agreed.
If they pull all of that off.
Yeah, but we got to see a lot out of Kyler. We got to see a lot out of the rest of this team. But
I mean, James Conner cooking still. I mean, there's a chance there.
Connor's he's a constant for this team, and he will be.
Jags, Eagles.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So Saquon's getting drug tested this week. I'm gonna just throw that
Saquon's getting alien tested this week.
He will be drug tested this week because he did something that. Now I know we say, like I've probably said this 500 times in my life. Damn, I ain't never seen that before, or I've never seen something like that.
I can guarantee you that no one in Pee-wee, high school, college, NFL, CFL, whatever, any sport, no one has ever done anything near what Saquon did. Jump backwards, booty first, legs out, straight over a dude running full speed at him.
Nobody's ever seen it happen before. Nobody's ever done it. And to do it at the highest
level of the sport.
With the best athletes in the world running around, jumping up in the air, mid-play. I mean, this ain't, this is...
Mid-play, mid-game.
Mid-play, mid-game, jumping up in the air. Hurdling somebody backwards. It's genuinely something that I have never seen in my life, and nobody can say that they've ever seen something like that in their life.
Break a tackle, spin move, stick your ass out over a dude's head, put it way over top of him.
Saquon Barkley is ridiculous.
He's unreal.
That's really all I have to say about that. And
the Eagles better be kissing that motherfucker's feet.
Yeah.
For weeks.
And
this dude is their savior.
I will say the score, it was a 5-point game, but the Jags... Okay, thanks.
The Eagles really let this one go because it was what? Let me look. 22-0 at half.
Devin, they threw it on 4th
right and inches. After the half, it was 22-0.
Devin, the Eagles threw it on 4th and inches.
Yes.
The Eagles. The tush push.
Up 22.
The brotherly shove. Eagles.
Yes.
It a game.
Was that when they got the pick 6?
No, but that was but they just got stopped, and it was. Okay. I believe Jalen was sacked, or I know he scrambled. It was either way. It was just there were some things that happened in that game that kept Jacksonville in it, and
I saw. What was it? Yeah, 7-0, and then I see 16-0. And then you see 22-0, and you go, all right, well, it's going to be 45-12 this game. Yeah. And then you get a touchdown from the Jags, and you get a fucking fumble recovery. Now it's 16-22 like that in a matter of a quarter, in a matter of a few minutes. And then, what's his nuts? fucking Devonta Smith. Hey,
And then you get
that was beautiful.
and then once they get AJ back healthy, I mean it's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be
It's gonna
scary.
be a
I mean,
problem.
we're talking about the Commanders right now. Obviously, the Cowboys aren't a threat. The Giants aren't a threat, but Eagles are sitting 6-2.
We haven't seen y'all match up yet. That's what's
No,
gonna be. We get two matchups between y'all, and that's gonna be
and I'm gonna
interesting.
be honest. Trying to stop Saquon's gonna be a bitch,
Trying to stop y'all
especially
is a
if they
bitch
got
too, though. So I
the.
mean,
Agreed, but especially if they got Devontae and AJ rolling out there, but I know we were talking shit on Jalen Hurts earlier in the season, but I think he's going to do enough with this team and make few enough mistakes to bring this team to the playoffs.
Edgar Allen Hurts. All right,
But yeah, Saquon,
drug
fucking
test to probably tomorrow. Lions.
fuck. What's bro's name from the Chiefs? The human joystick.
Oh, Dexter
Dante
McCluster.
Hall.
Oh, I said Dexter McCluster. Yeah,
No, or Dexter.
yeah,
Dante
Deontay
Hall. Yeah,
Hall.
go fuck
Deontay
yourself,
Hall.
Dexter. I mean, go fuck yourself, Dante. We got a new joystick. He's gonna put your ass right over your head.
Lions Packers.
Yeah, weird game, a wet game, a sloppy, stinky wet game.
So I'm gonna start this off by saying, sadly, Packers have absolutely no excuse.
Mm-mm.
They have zero excuse. They could have easily pulled the injury card, but they didn't. They threw Jordan Love out there and multiple times hinted at throwing Malik Willis out there. They had him warming up. They had,
Yep,
it was
yep,
is Malik going out? Is Malik
yep.
Jordan oh I guess Love's fine. And they
What did I say before this week?
what did you say before this week?
I said let Jordan get healthy if Jordan is the guy.
Yeah, okay.
Let Malik lose to the Lions because again, Jordan Love or Malik Willis, they're losing to this Lions team this week. It's just how it is.
But Jordan
But
Love,
let Jordan Love recover. Let him not take it such bad as an L as he just took. Let Malik take the L. Let Jordan Love come back with confidence.
Devin, Jordan Love ain't that guy though.
He never was that fucking guy, bro.
He's not that guy, bro.
He was never been that guy.
He goes out there.
Nothing has told anybody that he is that guy except for the Packers record last year.
He goes out there through 23 of 39, through his 10th interception of the year, which is first in the league, tied with Geno Smith. Geno Smith.
And Jordan has missed games.
And he's missed 2 games this year. He's missed 2 games. He has missed 2 games and leads the league in picks.
And none of his injuries were concussion based.
No. I mean, it's just.
So you can't call this mental bullshit.
No,
this is
no
bro
brain.
being hurt, making bad decisions. Whether he's hurt or not, he's making bad decisions. And they clearly do not have the team out there that everyone thought they had.
Absolutely not. And then another thing is you mentioned it, the weather. It's just funny that a team that plays 9 games a year inside gets to come and dog walk y'all
in your own stadium where you play 9 times outside and you own it. You go, we're not getting an indoor stadium.
Yeah.
We're Green Bay.
Bro, Detroit plays 9 games indoors. They play their 8 games at home, and then they get to go over to Minnesota and play another game inside. 9 games inside. And they get to go out there in the worst conditions, the worst football weather, the worst weather you could ask for.
Well, not the worst, but
no, it's the worst.
Bad.
It's the worst.
I thought snow was worse, no?
Look, here's the thing. If you're playing in snow, it's like, at least to me, the way I would view it is like, we're accepting that these are the conditions we're going to play.
Yeah.
Like
you're running the ball.
At this point, yeah, we're just about to have some fun. I don't know, in the slushy snow and it's cold, or the slushy, not slushy, but it's raining and it's cold
rain.
And you know, they were talking about it. Green Bay doesn't have the best field condition. They don't have the best field conditions. I mean, it's just it's a recipe for disaster. But Detroit is a serious problem.
Yeah.
They are 7-1.
And Detroit, did not play their best.
They didn't have to though.
No, exactly. And that was kind of the story of this week. It's like a lot of these pretty good teams didn't have to show everything that they had to win a football game.
Yeah.
Now they could have. Again, Jared Goff is still plus touchdowns compared to incompletions, which is one of the weirder stats in all of football.
Bro, I mean, come on. Like, come on. Like if we're gonna talk MVPs, if we're gonna have conversations, I get it. You
He's
got
doing it.
you got your exciting Lamars and this and that, but this guy, Jared Goff, when it comes to just
He hasn't played a bad game of football this year, I don't think.
no,
Not that I
I
mean,
don't
maybe
think
we can go back and look at
now I'm trying to figure out like
him doing something like that.
who did Detroit lose to? That's what.
Yeah, that's what exactly.
Tampa week 2. Okay, I remember.
Okay.
I remember now. Tampa week 2, which it's just I don't. Can we look at the Lions the rest of the schedule? I mean, they're 7-1. I am curious to see. They play Houston, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, Chicago, Green Bay, Buffalo, Chicago, San Fran, Minnesota. So they get 2 games versus Chicago, Indianapolis, Jacksonville. That's 4. That's 4 right there. So you can pretty much book them for 11.
I think that Detroit is a for sure lock for the NFC North. But I'm going to be honest. If we're going to talk about the Bills and not playing nobody, we got to talk about Detroit. I mean, beat the Rams, lost to the Bucks, beat the Cardinals, beat the Seahawks convincingly, beat the Cowboys convincingly, beat the Vikings by a little bit, beat the Titans, and now beat the Packers. They've won their games. They've done it. And they've beat some of these shit teams convincingly. But there's not a team on this board that I think is going to really challenge them outside of the Bills, you know?
So
maybe the Niners.
So,
but like a team to truly challenge this team and prove why they're who they are.
I could agree with you if you could give me a team half as good as Minnesota that at the time Buffalo was able to beat this year, or you could show me Jared Goff playing as poor as Patrick Mahomes has played this year and him being 8-0, considering, you know.
Agreed.
So it's like
agreed.
All
and,
right, like
and
if
I'm not trying to compare Goff and the Lions to Kansas City or Buffalo or any of these teams, but I'm just trying to point out that yes, Goff has not played bad, and he's played up to the standard that he has put upon himself and that this team has put upon themselves to be really good against all football teams. But when it comes late in the season and we get teams who start to lock in, again, I don't think the Lions are going to play any of those teams, but I'm not shitting on the Lions, but I'm just saying that
I hear you.
They don't look. They look good, but
bro,
I want to see a challenge.
They look fantastic, but
they look
you're saying,
incredible.
But I'm saying, like, the
if
schedule.
If we compare them to all the teams who are at the top right now, they look better, they look way better than all of them.
The schedule ain't the strongest, but then you look around. All right, 42-29, 52-14, 47-9. Like, they are putting it on these motherfuckers when they need to. So I mean, no, Houston is still. I mean, it depends on how you feel about Houston. Honestly, how you feel about Houston right now. I still personally think Houston is a challenge. We don't know where San Fran's going to be. We don't know where Minnesota's going to be. And you got Buffalo. They got plenty of challenges to come.
Sure.
I mean, they're
but
like I said,
they're not playing any top AFC teams outside of the Bills.
Well, no, I mean, they're in the NFC. They can't. I mean, what do you want them to do?
Agreed.
They were given. What were they?
Again, I don't want to shit on them, but when we look at the Cowboys, we look at a lot of these teams, and it's like, yes, when the Lions played the Cowboys, we had thought that, or a lot of people had thought that the Cowboys had something. Clearly, they have less than nothing. Um, and the Lions will be good, and they will. Dude, the Lions could win fucking 14 this year. Lord
But
knows.
like, do you genuinely think that they look like? Do you genuinely think like Buffalo looks anywhere near as good as Detroit?
Not even close.
But they look nowhere near as good as Detroit.
It's not even close. No.
I mean, Detroit, like I said, they're going to be a serious problem.
Yeah,
Rams, Seahawks. Seahawks suck.
the Rams suck.
The Seahawks
The, the,
suck.
the, the Rams suck with Puka and Cooper.
The Seahawks suck.
No, I agree, but the fact that game was that fucking close, and you got to throw a walk-off touchdown in overtime to fucking win this fucking shit dick game.
Rams aren't
The
great. The Rams aren't great, but the Seahawks suck.
the Seahawks are absolutely horrendous. Obviously, no DK. But no, Stafford should have taken advantage of these options of his opportunities. Instead, goes down the field, throws a pick, goes down the field, fumbles, goes down the field, and fucking doesn't convert. Just a lot of bullshit. The Rams could have blown him out of the water, but yeah, bad finishing.
Yeah, well, they Rams are 4-4. Definitely. I mean, like we talked about last episode, NFC West wide open.
Wide the fuck open. And shit, the Cards look pretty good for it right now.
Yeah, I mean it is wide, and you still got the Niners. I mean it is wide open.
Wide open.
Colts Vikings.
Yeah, what the fuck happened there, brother?
So are we starting to see the Colts, or excuse me, the Vikings crack a little bit?
Show some bullshit happening now. That first pick was Darnold rolling hard left, tries to flip, sees Jettis open, I think, and just tries to gun one, throws it way short, hits the Colts DB right in the chest. But no, truly the Vikings got really lucky that Joe Flacco played like shit, that Joe Flacco on 3rd and 1 is looking 20 yards down the field instead of wide open to their flat and to Jonathan Taylor. Like, they got so lucky that the Colts didn't have a solid game plan because they didn't think they'd be in this game.
No,
I don't think they did. I think they thought they would have been blown the fuck out. But
yeah, and they were absolutely in this game.
They were so in this game. Darnold made a shit ton of terrible decisions. Flacco looked good on some throws, and then again, a 3rd and whatever or a 2nd and whatever, they're launching the ball down the field. There was a few plays where late 3rd quarter, maybe 4th quarter, they've got a 1st and 10 in the Vikings territory or close to it. Decide to run the ball twice and then throw for it. And then throw for it again on 4th down. It's like, no, take your shots on 1st down. If you don't have it, then fucking go do something else. But you got Joe Flacco out there who's looking to throw the ball downfield. Give him the option on 1st down.
And they got lucky. Joe just was having a bad day. I mean, before this,
he
was coming in with, I think, 7 touchdowns and 1 pick.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, bro, it's not like they had the worst quarterback playing for them. But yeah, Minnesota to me got very, very lucky.
Yeah.
Especially on a 2-game losing streak.
Of course.
I mean, bouncing back with a win.
I mean, to go from 5-0 to 5-3 would have been a real shitter.
That would have been
bad. That would have sucked.
And I mean, they do have pretty easier. They have an easier schedule moving forward, but still, I'm just saying we might have to look out on the Vikings possibly maybe starting to crack a little bit, maybe starting to show that.
The crazy thing is like, God forbid the Commanders start to crack. It's like we never expected them to be here, you know? It's like mid-season, yes, we understand it now, but we didn't expect Sam Darnold to be in this position. Now, like Kevin O'Connell said after the game, it's like Sam Darnold had a few bad throws. He went 28 of 34 through 2 picks. like 2 of his incompletions were picks. Like he had a few bad throws that kind of ruined this game, but still, like this team still doesn't look like they're fully firing, and yet the Colts threw this game away, hardcore.
Yeah, and also like for like the Commanders, it's like, yeah, they could start to crack, but at the same time, we've been having this conversation about the Vikings ever since their first loss. We
Yeah,
gave it to them, so oh, it's Detroit, whatever, and then they lose a second game. It's like, oh,
yep,
all right, and then they come in here and they barely beat the Indianapolis Colts with Joe Flacco at the helm. I mean,
yep,
it's it's not the most promising thing you want to see as a Vikings fan starting off, especially after the 5-0 hype.
exactly.
I mean, I don't know. It's
But
like you said,
a
they
lot,
weren't supposed to be here, but
no,
they got here. It's kind of like
yes,
Washington. Like now that Washington is here, it's like no,
yes,
now y'all are
they
here. Now if y'all go one and
prove it.
two in the next 3 weeks, y'all still sitting there what 8-3.
Yeah,
So it's a lot better than sitting there if they would have ended up in a 5-3 situation. So I mean,
yeah.
Vikings still at what 6-2. It's not like they're in some shitty situation, but they did
No,
not
but
look good, and they're continuing to not. They're continuing to not look great. They're not
but
looking how they look when they were 5-0.
I'm gonna be honest. They might have it pretty easy, and if they start to have these games get real close, or they start losing these games, we might have some real big questions. But because they got Jags, Titans, Bears, Cards, Falcons, Bears, Seahawks. Now the Falcons game is going to be hard. Cardinals maybe. I don't know.
We'll see.
It's
That'll be a tell.
the Vikings are going to be sitting somewhere in the middle where they should have been. 5-0, cool, good for y'all, but I don't know. Doesn't feel like it's fully there.
It's not feeling the same as it was a couple weeks ago.
No,
Looking at the Vikings, Bucks Chiefs. So
we can't keep getting. We can't keep letting them get away with this.
so
This is terrible,
do
dog.
I even waste my time?
No,
No, I'm gonna waste my time doing it because it obviously happened. But it's like, all right, yes, the Chiefs are 8-0. They won the game. They should have beaten the Bucks without Mike and Chris Godwin. Anyways, this game should have
but
not
they're
even.
not good.
This game should have never went into overtime. Like I said, there's some Taylor Swift black magic going on that just will lead them to a 17-0, 20-0 season. But a we're yes, there was a false start on the Travis Kelsey play that set up the touchdown
Dog,
in overtime.
if you go back and if you watch that entire game, if you watch that entire second half, Jawan, what's his name?
Yep,
Jawan Jennings?
yep. So, Johnson.
Jawan Johnson. A second before every single snap. If anyone has a trained eye for football, you can watch a line and you can see if anybody moves on that line. You will see the right guard or the right tackle, no?
Yes,
The right tackle jump.
dude.
Damn near every fucking play.
All game,
All game.
all game. I'm
Not
sitting
even
here.
a whisper of it getting called.
All game, I'm sitting here going false start.
Yep.
And I'm not saying expecting to be called. It's just more of like, oh, false start.
Like when I see an offside or a false start, I'll go like this. Just naturally.
And I get
Like if someone jumps, I'll go.
And I get it. Like, oh, if we called every holding call, there'd be a holding on every play. But when it's so blatantly obvious,
when it's a false starts get called less than holding. I'm assuming. I have no idea. But holding,
yes, 100%.
Holding is a lot more subjective than a false start.
Yeah.
Because when you're watching fucking 9 still players, you're watching people who are standing the fuck still, and you see one guy fucking move first. It's pretty clear to say that there's fucking 4 dudes staring at the entire game.
They didn't
Not once did they say, "Hey, fucking false start."
If you want to let it slide in the second quarter, maybe mention to him, "Hey, bro, you moving a little too quick." But and then if he continues to do it and you get to overtime, throw that damn flag.
And at the same time, it's like, what real fucking advantage are you getting from this?
No, y'all are the Chiefs.
It's like why are y'all just rubbing it in our face? Like y'all could get flagged for this, or you honestly you could stop jumping early, not even risk the flag, and still get that ball to Kelsey.
Bro, and it's the same thing where it's like people are calling us haters and saying like we're mad and jealous. It's like no, like the
We're
Chiefs.
watching a football game.
The
If I saw that in any game, I'm
yes,
jumping up. I'm saying
and
shit.
the Chiefs are 8-0, and like we said, this ain't some 50-yard touchdown season for Mahomes, some Randy Moss 24 touchdown season. This ain't this
No,
this is
this is nothing
boring.
spectacular.
This makes no sense. It's boring.
No,
And also, you talk about the false starts. Let's not talk about the flop that DeAndre Hopkins hit. They got a flag drawn. The face mask that they called on Bucks offensive lineman.
not even close to a face
And
mask.
I remember watching it going.
How do you not call Sam Darnold's fucking face mask?
How do you not call Sam Darnold's fucking face mask, but you call
Which is-
somebody's shoulder pad getting grabbed a face mask? I don't understand it. I at this point, and we have said this. I don't know how many times I've said this this year, but at this point, we are just going to have to accept that the Chiefs just get it a
They're
little
playing
different.
a different level of
They
football.
get it a little different, and I don't know if they
A
know.
little, a lot.
I don't know if the refs, because here's the thing, and I say this before. I've said this before. There's no way the refs every week are like, all right, we're just gonna favorite the shit out of the Kansas City Chiefs this week,
No.
guys. It's like, but there is some type of deep rooted like just
Coming from up top, bro.
I don't know what it is, but at the same time, if this was any other team, Chiefs probably losing, and if this is any other team, the Bucks are probably winning. The way the Bucks
1000%.
played, the way Baker was able to dial up that final touchdown drive to put them into overtime, the way that Bucks offense was playing without their top two receivers. No,
And also how bad the Kansas City offense looks. Like we cannot talk about this team like they're a juggernaut. They're nothing. They're 8-0, but they are absolutely nothing compared to any other team out here.
but they are going. They're gonna go 17-0.
No, they're going 20-0. They will be undefeated.
I mean, hopefully we get to a point where we have to watch them actually just play. And it's like, it's not going to come down to. I need a game where it's not going to just come down to the ball is in the Chiefs' hands.
I want to see a 2-score game out of the fucking Chiefs. I would.
Yeah.
Please let me try to look at a 2-score game from the Chiefs. I don't think we've seen one.
No.
And if we did see one, it was probably dog shit.
I don't think we have, but that also
Ravens won.
Talking about the Bucks, the commentators that they were discussing the Bucks, and they were saying, if they could pull this win off, it'd be great. But after this, because they had this game and then they had the Niners after this. So, but then they have a bye week, and after their bye week, Devin. Now I know they could be sitting at 4-6 at their bye week, and that is horrendous. But say they pick up a win against San Francisco. If they play the way they played against the Kansas City Chiefs, they could beat the 49ers and be 5-5.
Especially with that, you're walking out here with no Mike, no Chris.
Devin, they come after their bye week. Still no Mike, no Chris. New York Giants, Carolina Panthers,
Easy.
the Raiders,
Easy.
the Chargers,
Easy. Man, not easy, but okay.
the Cowboys.
Could be very easy.
The Panthers.
Super easy.
The Saints.
Incredibly easy.
Devin, the Bucks are 4-5 and can still easily make the playoffs.
They could win their division swimming.
Well, Atlanta would have to lose some games.
Which Atlanta can lose some fucking games because they aren't that good either.
Let me take a peek at.
But
let me take a peek at Atlanta.
Just to interrupt, the Chiefs, 2 of their 8 wins are by more than 1 score. Every other game has been incredibly close against shit dick teams.
If we look over at Atlanta, they got New Orleans, Denver, the Chargers, Minnesota, the Raiders, the Giants. They got Washington, and then Carolina. So, I mean, Yeah, I mean Minnesota, Washington, the Chargers. There's definitely some games in that. There's a couple more games I'd say that they got to worry about than the Bucks do for the rest of the year.
The scariest thing for me is that I'm about one, maybe 2 wins away, probably one, from getting a lot of hope in this Washington team.
Well, yeah. Well, on Thursday I can't wait, or on Friday I can't wait to discuss your guys' next matchup. That's
Like, I'm scared.
that's gonna be real interesting. But no, I mean the Bucks sitting at 4-5, even sitting at 4-6, they can come off that bye week and win every single game, finish 11-6. I mean, what are we talking about right now? That
It's a
is,
good fucking football team.
and if they are able to do that, now they're saying there's a chance that Godwin can return this season. I'm assuming Mike Evans at some point is going to return from his bad,
I think they said Mike,
injury.
like, Mike was expected to miss a few weeks. I know Chris is going to be out most of the season.
And if they can beat San Fran and get a great bye week at week 11, and then say still not even have their top two receivers and still be able to knock off the Giants and the Panthers and the Raiders, I mean, it's like they could be sitting in a really, really good spot if they came back, a lot healthier, say, against the Chargers. But all right, that wraps up every single Week 9 game, Devin. We got to give out our MVP votes. We got to give out MVP votes. I say that, Week 9 MVP votes, who comes to mind right away?
Immediately. Al Freaky. Maybe Joe Burr. Sequissy. I think that's my top 3.
I mean, is Kirk in that conversation? Is Josh Allen in the conversation? Is Mahomes in the conversation? No, 34, 44, 291, 3 tutties.
From?
Mahomes.
No.
34, 44, 291, 3 tutties.
No.
No, that means
we watched the game.
It means absolutely nothing to you. Okay, I mean, yeah,
we watched that football game.
We watched the football game. Okay, I mean, I'm just asking. Kirk Cousins, 19 of 24, 222 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then Josh Allen, 25 of 39.
Oh, golf.
25 of 39. I don't know. I don't really like. I don't.
Who was that?
Josh Allen.
No.
25, 39.
Josh is not in my. No. He was about 2 seconds away from losing that Dolphins team. So no.
So Joe Burrow. All right. So I mean, Lamar Jackson now, 16 and 19, 3 touchdowns, 280 yards, same amount of incompletions as touchdowns. I'm really debating between him and Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, 27 of 39, 251 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. 5 touchdowns, Devin. Now here's the thing. They play the Raiders. And if I'm being too biased, just let me know. They played the Raiders, not really expecting anything else but that. I mean, to be honest, Joe Burrow threw 5 touchdowns against the Baltimore Ravens. So he should do that. He should do that against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep.
If there's one thing that this entire league has been gassing up to this week, it's been Denver's defense. It's been their defensive backs. It's been how great their corners and their safeties play.
Pat Surtain.
And Lamar went in there and threw 19 balls, completed 16 of them, 280 yards and 3 tutties. At the same time, were 50 yards of that and 1 touchdown of that an amazing play by Zay? Yes. So, all that being said, I'm going to give Joe number 1, and I'm going to give Lamar number 2.
That's nuts.
It's not nuts. You have a 5 touchdown game. You deserve the number 1 spot. I don't care how bad the defense is. You did what you were supposed to do.
Sure. Now, Joe, this is his 2nd of the year, which, yes, congratulations. Again, yeah, no, I think Lamar deserves that 1 spot. I think a perfect passer rating is incredibly impressive.
I mean, is there something? I mean, what? I mean, I'm looking at Joe did throw 20 more balls.
Mm-hmm.
He had these same, his incompletions were the amount of attempts Lamar had, and had less yards and was able to get in it. Okay, maybe I'm tripping. Am I tripping?
I don't know. I mean, it is against the Raiders, and I mean, honestly, coming into this game, it was like, how good is this 5-3 Broncos team? I mean, going into the Bengals Raiders game, it was like the Bengals better blow the fucking brakes off this team because they're trying to lose games at this point.
I mean,
They just fired their entire team. Maybe it was after the game, but either way. Um, no, yeah.
but just
Lamar is
going into
incredibly
this,
efficient, throwing 3 touchdown passes, still running with that bitch a little bit. Not really.
not really 4 yards, but going into this conversation, I really, really didn't want to let any bias factor into this, and I'm trying to make sure I'm not overstepping on the other side to try to
No,
not
but
let the bias play into it,
we're
play
looking at
factor
a
into it.
Ravens team. We're looking at a quarterback who, like Jared Goff, is not making any mistakes and not putting his team in a position to lose at any point. Um, Again, we're looking at the Lamar who's able to put in a backup quarterback in at the end of a game and win. So
All right,
obviously Derek did his thing, but
maybe I'm
what
tripping.
Lamar's doing with his team is above and beyond what
Maybe I'm
Joe
tripping.
Burrow's 5 passing touchdowns are.
Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. I'll put Lamar at one. I'll put Lamar at one. But Joe is my two.
Okay.
Joe Burrow will be my two. Because like I said, 5 touchdown game. But yeah, he threw 39 balls. Still had less yards than that, than of Lamar Jackson. But my third, my third. I mean, you got. I mean, you got you got Josh Allen. I'm looking at Kirk. You brought up Saquon, which is obviously, I mean, you can't really ignore what Saquon was able to do.
Fuck no.
Man, yeah,
Saquon ran for 160
he had 200 total yards, 199 total yards,
and
and
two
two tutties.
touchdowns.
Um, yeah, yeah, I'll give him the third.
Big Bro's a menace.
I'll give him the third slot.
And made one of the craziest plays in all of football history.
Yes, yes. Look, it was
Now,
an
now,
amazing play.
granted, he did the backwards jump hurdle bullshit thing and got like 2 more yards out of
It
it.
was an amazing play.
But still, it was sick.
But I'm not letting that. That's not deciding. Like, he backwards hurdled. He's the MVP.
No,
But he will get.
of course not.
He'll get a point. I'll give him the
Um,
point.
yeah, Kirk's cool, whatever, and all that shit. Golf is cool. I think that the Lions should have packed on some more offense, but with the way that that game was going, they didn't really have to. Um, I'm gonna be honest here. Maybe not.
What's up? What are you thinking?
I was gonna say Saquon over Joe, but
I mean, I was quietly debating that in my head, so I can't.
honestly, the Eagles were just toying with the Jags halfway through that game
Mm-hmm.
and let them come back. The game could have been 52-0. So yeah, I'll give it to Joe. I mean, the game should have ended 41-10, just like the Ravens game. And then yeah, I'll give it to Saquon. 3.
Okay,
Joe and then Saquon.
Joe. All right, so looking like the same votes for the both of us. We both got Saquon number 3, Joe Burrow number 2, and Lamar Jackson at number 1. All right, trade deadline, Devin. The trade deadline, the NFL trade deadline, Tuesday evening, night, afternoon, 4 p.m. Tuesday afternoon, evening, whatever you want to consider it. We got a few moves that are definitely impactful or mean something, or could, maybe they don't. I don't know. But first thing, like you brought it up earlier, so we might as well talk about it now. That's the player that the Commanders got. Now if there's one thing we have been questioning about Washington and have been criticizing,
Yeah.
it's that spot. It's that spot that
It's
Marshawn Lattimore is going to be able to fill.
that corner spot, bro.
He's going to
It's
be
that Benjamin St. Just.
he's going to be able to bring y'all a lot more. It's just I don't know. It's like you get a you just get to throw somebody out there, and it's like, all right, like that side of the field, we don't have to worry about it as much as we did a day ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had to worry. Now a lot of that stress is lifted off our back because we got someone like Marshawn Lattimore,
Yeah.
Marshawn Lattimore filling that role.
But to me, this is like, I don't know, call me stupid, but this is less of like it's a huge football move, but this is more of like a confidence move. This is more of like, hey, we are putting guys on this team.
Well, I think it shows the confidence. I think it shows like
It shows the confidence.
we're making big boy moves because we think we're about to do some big boy shit. But
Yeah.
it's definitely like it's also
it's
a
huge
great
football
addition.
wise.
Yes,
It's a great addition. But
beautiful.
to like a fan, it shows that we are going in on this team.
We're locked.
Clearly, we revamped the entire coaching staff. We got Cliff Kingsbury. We got Dan Quinn. I think Jack Del Rio's still there. Maybe I'm retarded. Can't remember. Either way, it shows that this team is really getting behind our quarterback and trying to win football games. So hopefully we do that. But at the same time, I don't want to put nothing into it because the Orioles lost in the wild card this year, and I'm sad about it still. So,
well, speaking of Baltimore, we also got a DB. We were able to make a good old trade for Tre'Davious White.
I was gonna say Tremaine Edwards, not him.
Definitely not him, which I am definitely happy about. Obviously, we
Yes.
got Nate and Marlon Humphrey still a little banged up. We need the depth. We need the help. We need we need it all. I'm glad we didn't need the we're making moves, but I will say I'm glad that to me this move means that they are addressing a situation that we've all been talking about.
Of course.
We've all been bitching about the Ravens and just their pass coverage and just their DBs just falling apart and crumbling. And we just need more experienced guys that can communicate, especially in mid play. Just that's a big thing, and I've noticed it. It's obviously like if a player goes, we're struggling at communicating, you're gonna look for it more. But no, it's like glaringly obvious. Like there are so many times where the Ravens are right there. Could have had an interception. Could have made a big stop. Could have done a lot more.
Or there was that big play against Jameis. Who was that? Right after the Hamilton drop pick.
Who was it on?
No, there was the Hamilton drop pick and then the bomb.
Yes.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
Who was in coverage?
I want to say
the dude
Eddie
you were
Jackson.
Eddie Jackson.
Eddie Jackson, I believe.
So it's like, the little bullshit plays that happen that really ruin a game for y'all.
See, but I also thought Eddie Jackson was a DB that'd be able to come in with experience and be able to communicate and be able to not make those types of mistakes.
Yes.
And it turns out that it's the complete opposite, and I'm hoping it's not the same for Tre'Davious White.
Or maybe two vets will kind of make everything a little bit better.
But I mean, at this point, Marlon's a vet. You got Roquan in the middle making, calling all the shots. It's like it's there. You got Marcus Williams.
If Kyle
back
Hamilton
there.
learns how to slow the game down a little bit, he might be a vet pretty soon.
I mean, with players like Marcus Williams, Roquan out there, Eddie Jackson, Tre'Davious White now, like, no, you should, like, Marlon Humphrey, like, y'all should be able to communicate. There should be no problem with communication.
And it's not like y'all have a lack of talent out there.
No, that's what pisses me off.
Now, we've talked about a lack of what's his name?
Pens.
44. Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah,
We've talked
44.
about a lack of Marlon talent this year and years prior. But this year he's done well enough.
Yeah.
Snagged a few picks and not let up some crazy plays. So having him out isn't great, but yeah, he's still that presence out there a little bit.
Steelers. Two moves that the Steelers made. One that I
Good moves.
like. One that I could care less about. The Steelers get Mike Williams.
Yeah.
Mike Williams is like not that good at football.
No.
Sorry to make it
But
like that basic, but
I'm going to be honest. I think the Jets have a really buddy bullshit type of system where they're not going to try to get the ball to Mike as much, and they're not going to do this with Mike and that. I'm going to be honest. I think Mike is damn near.
Get out of my face.
Mike's close to a number one on that team, especially if teams are going to start to double Pickens and play tough on Freiermuth.
Bro.
I think that Mike can be open a lot on this Steelers team.
Bro. We're talking about the guy that couldn't keep a job over Quentin Johnson in LA. We're talking about the guy who had
Mike's time was done in LA.
No, we're talking about the guy. We're talking about the guy who was in LA and Keenan was going down and he was battling with what? You're telling me he couldn't shine over Josh Palmer and Quentin Johnson. That's the comp he's battling with, and he couldn't shine over him. He goes over to Aaron Rodgers, and I'm sorry, but I gotta disagree. He was given all chances in the world, given so many looks, had so many drop balls to the point where, it's funny, Aaron Rodgers blames people. But Aaron Rodgers played in the NFL for a long time and has had plenty of years where they were not too successful. And bro came out and was like, I mean, it wasn't even dropped. It's like, yeah, Mike ran the wrong fucking route. And you know what? I believe him.
Sure.
I fucking believe him.
Probably. But if Garrett Wilson didn't have the week he had last week, we'd be shit. I mean, I'm not saying if he didn't, but I'm saying that last week we were looking at Garrett Wilson the same way.
Bro, but we weren't. No,
we were looking at him
not.
like a bust and like all this shit.
Okay, but
and Devontae Adams, what the fuck is Devontae Adams done?
Looking at Garrett Wilson as a bust and understanding that Mike Williams has been a bum for years are two completely different things. Mike Williams was looked at as a bum before this trade. He was looked at as a bum before Garrett Wilson had a good game last week. He was looked at a bum before Devontae Adams was traded there. He was looked at a bum before he was a Jet. He was looked at as a bum when he was a Charger. So, if anything, yeah, he's going to get.
He was looked at as a bum. He was a Charger.
Are you serious? The whole conversation has been Justin Herbert throws to nothing but trash ass receivers.
No, the conversation was he was throwing to good receivers who were never there. And my argument back in the day was you're looking at guys who are not good enough to do it. Keenan Allen and Mike Will. No one gives Keenan Allen shit.
Yes, we do.
Number one,
number
one, not being there, and number two, not being good enough. The two of them were never good enough, even healthy, to make a huge playoff run.
What the fuck? Then what the fuck's gonna make him good now?
What I'm saying is, with this Steelers team, with how depleted that this offense is, and how little that this Steelers offense has to do to win a football game, I think Mike Williams can make an impact.
Make an impact? How?
Catching a few fucking footballs, if he
but
can.
He struggles
catch
at
a few
doing
footballs.
That. So here's the thing.
I understand.
Because the Pittsburgh Steelers don't do much on offense, and they keep it very simple on offense. What do you think's going to happen when he goes out there and the 5 looks he gets runs the wrong route or drops a wide open pass? It's going to be, Mike Williams is a bum again. I don't know where you got this mixed feeling of Mike Williams wasn't a bum. He's been a bum. You just said he couldn't get it done.
I agree.
Keenan Allen. It was Keenan Allen and Mike Will suck. Like that was the situation.
But I swear to you, the narrative way back in the day, and for fucking 6 years, it was like, wait till Mike and Keenan are healthy together. You got a top fucking 5 quarterback in Justin Herbert. Go pay him all his money, and then once they get healthy, now they're a fucking perfect team. And it was Keenan can do this, Keenan can do that. Mike's this, Mike's that. That team was never good enough full healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And that receiving core was never good enough. But the Chargers never had a defense like this team. And
what the
if you can have Pickens,
to do with Mike Will?
But if you can have Pickens opening looks up a little bit because he's playing great, You can have Mike take a few shots.
Okay. And Devontae and Garrett Wilson can't give Mike Williams some looks.
They can barely give looks for themselves. They had one good game last game.
I don't know.
Garrett had a good game last game.
You are gassing the Mike Williams move.
I'm not gassing it. I'm just saying that the Mike Williams situation. I'm saying the Mike Will situation in Pittsburgh is better than the Mike Will in New York.
Yeah, because he'll be on the bench a lot more.
I think it's the reverse.
No, it's literally not the reverse. He's going to be such a waste of time in Pittsburgh. It's not even funny. I guarantee he's on a new roster after this year. I promise you.
He might be, but
dude,
I think he will make a little impact.
All of this hype, this was supposed to be such a big move when he went to the Jets. Oh, they got Mike Will, and even me, I was like, what the fuck?
But it still wasn't that crazy of a hype.
So why are we? So it still wasn't crazy of a hype, and it ended up being a shit show. So why are we like not doubling down on him being a shit show? All right, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. From that team. I got you. You think
what? You think Alan Lazard is a better receiver?
We haven't seen as much Alan Lazard as we've seen Mike Williams.
We haven't seen anything from this Jets team. We cannot say that this Jets team.
We have seen Mike Williams with the Chargers do absolutely nothing.
Okay, Mike would put up numbers with the Chargers. Now, when I say that they were shit, I meant that they were shit in terms of winning football games. That fucking trio right there wasn't going to win dick.
I've never seen a Mike Williams-led offense be successful.
He's never led an offense. When you look at the Jets, they have one of the worst run teams in the league.
When Keenan Allen was...
And you're going to blame it on Mike Williams. You can't blame this on Mike Williams. When Keenan
Allen was down... Nobody's blaming it on Mike Williams, but if you're going to sit here and ask me how I feel about Mike Williams and I say he's trash, and then we're going into 30 different reasons why I think he's trash, yeah, I'm going to get to a point where I say if he's leading an offense, he's not going to be that fucking successful. We watched when Keenan Allen went down, and he was the person that was supposed to step up, not step up. And what? Now it's Justin Herbert's fault? He can't get it done?
It's also his fault.
Oh, now it's his fucking fault. But now, and Aaron Rodgers' fault. Because we're not going to pretend like Mike hasn't gotten the looks and hasn't gotten all the chances in the world, especially before Devontae got traded there. He's part of the reason why this Jets offense has been so damn shitty.
Part of it. But like I said, we're looking at a Steelers offense where Mike is not the number one. Mike does not have to be the number one. You're looking at a run first, defense first team, and then you've got balls to Pickens. You've got balls to Freiermuth, and then you can get balls to Mike. It's not this huge push toward making Mike this fucking star. It's using him as a piece, like you would a Deontay Johnson.
But to you, they've never done that. They've never tried to make Mike Williams a star, and he's never been an answer. So I don't. Okay, so sure, the 2 looks he'll get with the Steelers because they run the ball 90% of the damn time, and if not, they're gonna lob that bitch up to Pickens for a 50-50 ball. So sure, Mike Williams can do his thing. If anything, 32-year-old Preston Smith that they got from the Packers is gonna be more of an impact than Mike Williams because you know why? Because the Steelers are gonna fuck around and know how to use a 30-year-old linebacker for some reason. Because that's just what the Steelers do. That's what I expect them to make more of an impact out of is, we got a linebacker we got Preston Smith. Cool. Yeah, no, we'll make him work. He's going to come out and ball for the rest of the season with the fucking Steelers.
Where's he from?
Packers.
Okay. I thought it was Minnesota for a second.
But then the final move, the biggest move, I mean, we I don't know if we could say we expected it, but it's not a shocker.
You expected it.
I called it.
I
called this shit. Zadarius Smith to the Lions. For some reason, Shane thought Atlanta was Atlanta ain't good. Atlanta was
Shane's lost, bro. Shane said that defense was good enough the entire offseason. He said that.
But he did pretty much week 1 or 2 declare like, all right, like we got problems on the defensive side of the ball. So
I know, but when we're looking at a true contender in Detroit and the fact that they lost their star edge rusher for the entire season, go get a vet. Yeah.
Go get a vet. Get Zadarius
Now,
Smith.
he's not going to put up anywhere near the same numbers that Hutch would have. But that's a good piece to have on your D line.
And then, I mean, the moves that were there were a couple moves that I guess were expected to be made that weren't. I mean, or were predicted. I mean, they were saying maybe Bryce Young gets moved, and
I
he,
mean, I was I talking to you or somebody? I can't remember.
maybe
It may have been on the podcast. I can't remember. Bryce wasn't getting moved.
okay.
They're not taking a former number one and moving him mid season of his second season. It's not happening. And also, what team's looking for a Bryce Young? Who's looking for Bryce Young right now?
Raiders.
No.
The Raiders
The
are the
Raiders are
only.
going
No,
to
I mean
revamp their whole shit. The Raiders are going to tank and go pick up Cam Ward next year.
but like the Raiders are the only team. If you like ask like right now, like who needs a
Yes.
quarterback? Like no, it's like
Yes.
maybe probably the team who has literally their best option right now is someone who's a minority owner of the
Yes.
team. They're the best
Exactly.
option at quarterback. So
1,000%. But shit, they threw Desmond Ritter in that game, no? It's like Desmond's probably better than Bryce Young. So, you know, Bryce is wanted by nobody, and until Bryce proves with the Panthers, it has to be with the Panthers, that he can play decent football, he's not going to get looks from anybody else.
I don't think Desmond Ritter is better than Bryce Young, by the way.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna throw that out.
I've never seen Bryce Young play good football.
Yeah, I guess. But
I can say the same thing about Desmond, but still, I don't know.
Thursday Night Football, Devin. We got a good one. We got a big one. We got one that is
It's big. It's huge.
It's big for a lot of reasons. I mean, you got the Bengals on. You know, obviously they got their hopes high. They're kind of they called their number about a week or two ago. I think Burrow's like, I mean, we just got to win like 7 of the next 9. I mean, it ain't that hard. And I don't know. Am I dumb for being worried?
No, but I think that the worry should be like if we're looking at a truly football way, like yeah, we can look at it like fans and say this game can be won by the Bengals, which it can be. But if we're looking at it truly, the Bengals have beat nobody. They've looked shaky against most teams. I think that with the guys from injury coming back on your defense, I think again the Bengals are kind of a one trick pony. I know they picked somebody up now.
They picked the running back.
Khalil Herbert.
Yeah.
They picked Khalil Herbert up. Again, it doesn't mean shit, but no, I mean as long as y'all's offense plays like y'all's offense is meant to do, then I think it should be a pretty easy dub. I think defensively you guys can hold Jamar Chase pretty well because outside of Jamar Chase, they don't have much of a threat going on out there.
Yeah, but I will say that even if even the Ravens win, if they win in the same fashion that they did the last game versus the Bengals, I'm not happy.
Agreed.
I can't have Joe throwing 5 touchdowns and us being down 10 in the fourth quarter and us having to pull off some, some miraculous plays, Lamar Jackson, and stiff arming a DN and rolling out and throwing one lightly in the end zone, and it's just.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the Bengals have gotten worse since y'all have played them. I think this is a great time for y'all to play them. It's not y'all ain't seeing them week 15 or whatever.
Thank God. Thank God.
Exactly. Y'all get 2 early ones against your real rivals right now. Again, not calling it a miracle, but somehow y'all pulled one out against them in the first game.
I mean, it wasn't a miracle.
Pretty close to one.
What the fuck is... If you are referring to that goddamn field goal that was held perfectly by the time the ball met the goddamn foot...
No, I'm just saying
going to lose my goddamn mind. Because Lamar Jackson fumbled that ball maybe 3 damn times and was still able to make something out of it, including a goddamn touchdown. So, yeah, there were some balls flying all around that field. But when that foot met that ball was exactly set where it was supposed to be. So
Agreed.
Stop bringing up that damn football. because
Maybe
Lamar.
not miraculously, but that was a close game. But I truly think that the Bengals are worse. They've they had a real shit dick close one against the Giants, close one against the Browns. Get pissed on by the Eagles essentially in the second half. Played really well against the Bengals. I'm not the Bengals, the Raiders, but they should have. And you guys are coming off some of the better wins of the season, so I think you guys' offense is just now starting to fully click, getting Deontay, and now the defense can go out and make up for their miscues from a few weeks ago.
See, but that's the problem. It's like, yeah, they don't look too good versus the Giants. They don't look too good versus the Browns. They get pissed on by the Eagles. They finally have a great game against the Raiders. Right before all of that, they have their best ever game, if it had to be a loss, possibly ever, against the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to
Yeah,
bring their A game. They
yeah,
are going to they're going to play their second best game, if not best game of the season against us, probably.
yep, yep.
I think going into this, I was kind of leaning to almost being so scared or worried that I might have picked Cincinnati.
I definitely think that there's a reason to have doubts, but there's no reason to doubt y'all winning this game. Like there are ways you can lose this game, but none of them are in like forefront incredibly possible.
So I think Baltimore can get it done. I'm gonna go
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore. I will pick them. And honestly, if we are who we're supposed to be, it ain't gonna be close. It might be a
It'll be
10
close.
point, 14-point win. It might be a
It
mid.
might be a 20-point
It
win.
might be a mid third quarter. I might have to just start rubbing my eyes and get ready for bed. Like it might
That's what I'm saying.
it might be something else, Devin. But I'm gonna go Baltimore. I'm assuming. I don't know if you said who you were. Didn't give
No,
your pick.
I'm going Baltimore.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's in the bank. Y'all already beat them in Cincy. I don't see them coming in on a Thursday and whooping y'all. We know how Lamar plays in primetime games. I don't see that happening. But really, what I want to see is a Lamar, a Derek. I want to see a freak out. I want to see a breakdown. I want to see a crazy ass game against this team.
I need
Um,
just another MVP game from Lamar would be great.
yeah,
That I would appreciate that as a Ravens fan.
yeah.
But yeah, Thursday night football, week 10. We will be covering the rest of week 10 next episode. But I think that's it. We talked about all of week 9's games. Dallas pretty much the end of their season. Baltimore getting their blowout. Jameis theory standing tall.
Very,
Bengals four.
very.
Bengals 4-5. Buffalo. Who knows if they're good? Drake May is New England's. I don't know if it's a bright future, but it is a future. Michael Thomas is a bitch. The Commanders are good. The Cardinals might be kind of good. Saquon is getting drug tested. The Packers, I don't know what's going on in Green Bay. I could keep going down all the teams. Fuck it. Seahawks suck. Minnesota probably starting to shit the bed a little bit. And Kansas City is going to keep getting away with everything until they hold up that third straight trophy. Devin, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I think we covered a lot. Draymond's a bitch.
Did we miss? Did I miss a chance to?
Nah, nothing specific, nothing crazy.
Damn.
But the Warriors played the Wizards, and Draymond's yaps his dumbass mouth. So
Yeah.
he going yap.
He won't punch Jordan Poole now because it's not his teammate. He only hits his teammates.
He hits other guys too, but now he would have to go to counseling again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which he hates because they tell him the truth there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the NBA is coming back. Some weird shit going on with Joel Embiid.
We'll talk.
Don't care.
You know what? I was gonna say we'll talk about that, but we honestly won't.
I don't care.
I don't care.
We're fucking 8 games into this season.
It is what it is.
And yeah, like Jeff Teague said, Bronny's not that good.
Stop it. Y'all are dick riding. Bronny's not that good. What did you fucking want to come in there and be LeBron James?
No.
Okay.
But I think LeVar Ball said it best.
What? My son
LeVar
can.
had time. LeVar had time to train his kids because he wasn't that good at sports.
That's right.
LeVar wasn't shit.
I thought LeVar said. Fuck, damn. I thought LeVar said, make sure you grab me a watch too. Oh, make
Yep.
sure you. Oh, Jello.
Steal that shit from me too, Jello.
Get Jello.
Yep.
I don't care what LeVar Ball has to say about Bronny James at all.
I wasn't
because
toward
one
Bronny
person
James.
lives through their children's success, and one person is very happy to stand right next to his child as he has his success.
But 95% of NBA players, their parents live through their success.
Yeah. But only one so far has made a brand, social media, became a social media influencer from it.
Agreed.
And that's LeVar Ball, who is pretty much a nobody back to this point.
Agreed.
Nobody cares what he has to say. I don't give a fuck.
But his boys are in the league.
I don't care.
Two
of them. 1.5 of them.
One and two knees. Yeah.
One of them is playing.
Knee. One and one knee. Yeah. One of them is okay.
Give me like a month of Lonzo, and then all right, okay, he's got 2 sons.
But yeah, I don't know. Let's see where Bronny is in 2 years.
Who cares? See, I mean, I didn't want to have this conversation this deep in the podcast, but who cares?
True.
Who cares where he's at 2 years from now? I mean, it's not. There's literally no reason. Like, okay, we're gonna sit here and shit on players that beat their girlfriends or make up bullshit lies about whatever game they played in this week or dating famous bitches. It's like, all right, cool. Bronny James did nothing but be birthed by LeBron fucking James. He was raised to hoop. He was able to give it a chance because of his father. Yes, he is a nepo NBA baby, and that's just it. It is what it is. But to have a motherfucker like Jaylen Brown on the sideline going, "Oh, he's just not good," and to have people on his dick like he's not a 55th pick in the NBA.
Yeah, that's on me.
I'm just saying. It's
I agree. No,
I just don't care. Like, it's like if Bronny, I didn't expect Bronny James to do shit in the NBA. So anything he does in the NBA, cool.
Yeah,
cool. It is what it is. I've seen a lot.
It was funny. Is they were like, Bronny James' first bucket is literally the fuck you turnaround jumper. I was like, that's fire, dude.
In Cleveland.
It was
so in
Cleveland. Fuck you, bro.
It is what it is. Bronny's tough and LeVar's not. So with all that being said, hopefully y'all enjoy this episode of On It. We'll be back on Saturday to predict Week 10's games, to talk Week 9 or to talk Week 10 Thursday Night Football, Ravens and Bengals, maybe some NBA, maybe some other shit. Who knows what we'll be talking about next episode, Devin, but
maybe some elections.
Maybe but with other absolutely not. Never be a episode on this podcast. It has been me. Brand new episodes every Tuesday and Saturday. We'll be back on Saturday. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out.